Have you ever had a brilliant idea? A project that could change everything or a task you knew you should start, but instead you found yourself scrolling, cleaning, or just staring at the wall? You open your laptop, but your brain is foggy. You drag yourself to your workspace and wonder, why can't I just start? Here's the strange part. Somewhere else, someone else is tackling their most difficult work with ease. They don't have more willpower. They haven't found a secret motivation pill. They've simply learned to bypass the biggest enemy of creativity and productivity, the resistance of starting. In this video, we'll explore the 5-minute rule, a simple psychological hack that transforms overwhelming tasks into manageable actions, allowing you to consistently unlock your creative flow. You don't need to overhaul your life, buy a new course, or wait for inspiration to strike. You just need to understand how to trick your brain into starting, because maybe it's not about working harder, it's about starting smarter. We live in a world that glorifies the finished product. We see the masterpiece, the successful business, the viral video, and we think the creator must have had endless motivation. But here's the truth. Every creative person, every successful entrepreneur battles procrastination. The difference is they have a system to defeat it. The secret isn't in forcing yourself to work for 8 hours, it's in convincing yourself to work for just 5 minutes. When done right, those 5 minutes are all you need to generate the momentum that carries you through the rest of the task. Principle number 1, the activation energy myth. The biggest lie we tell ourselves is that we need to feel motivated before we can start. In physics, there's a concept called activation energy, the minimum energy required to start a chemical reaction. For us, that's the mental friction of starting a new task. Your brain sees a huge project and screams, "Too much work! Danger! Retreat!" The 5-minute rule works by drastically lowering this activation energy. You're not committing to finishing the novel, you're committing to writing for 5 minutes. You're not committing to a full workout, you're committing to 5 minutes of stretching. What you can do: identify the single smallest step you can take on your most daunting task. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Tell yourself, I only have to do this until the timer goes off. The goal is not progress. The goal is simply to start. Principle number 2, momentum over motivation. Motivation is fleeting. Momentum is a force of nature. Once you've been working for 5 minutes, something magical happens. Your brain shifts from a state of avoidance to a state of engagement. This is the Zeigarnik effect in action, the psychological phenomenon that makes us remember and feel compelled to complete unfinished tasks. The hardest part of any task is the beginning. Once you're in motion, it's often easier to keep going than to stop. The 5 minutes of forced starting creates enough momentum to overcome the initial resistance. What you can do: when the timer goes off, you have two choices: stop and walk away, or reset the timer for another 5 minutes. You will be surprised how often you choose the latter. You've already done the hard part, starting. Principle number 3, the power of imperfect action. Procrastination is often a mask for perfectionism. We don't start because we're afraid we won't be good enough. The 5-minute rule gives you permission to be bad. Your 5 minutes of work can be messy, disorganized, and completely imperfect. The goal is to create a shitty first draft, as Anne Lamott famously put it. This is crucial for creativity. Creativity thrives on flow, not judgment. By committing to only 5 minutes, you remove the pressure of quality and allow yourself to simply create. You can always edit a bad page, but you can't edit a blank one. What you can do: embrace the mess. For your 5 minutes, focus on quantity over quality. Write the first 5 sentences, even if they're terrible. Sketch the first 5 lines, even if they're wrong. The act of creation, no matter how flawed, is the only path to improvement. Conclusion: the habit of starting. The 5-minute rule isn't just a productivity hack. It's a way to rewire your brain. Every time you successfully start a task, you build a new neural pathway. a habit of action. You teach your brain that starting is safe, easy, and rewarding. So the next time you feel the pull of procrastination, don't fight it with willpower. Trick it with the 5-minute rule. Lower the bar so low you can't help but step over it. Start small, start messy, but most importantly, just start.